day 37 of my monk mode challenge since I started on July 28th. I've hit every point really well. Only one I've relapsed on is the nofap and the semen retention, which I reset yesterday, September 1st, so today is day 2 and back on it. Everything else has been hitting really good, so no alcohol, no weed, getting to bed early by 9, up by 5, full 8 hours of sleep, getting to the gym, exercising, eating healthy, vegan diet, fruits, vegetables, protein, salad. So feeling good, energized, meditating, cold showers. So my whole list that I went over in the monk mode challenge videos that I've done, been hitting those really well. So when it comes to any of the points that you want to do, whether you agree with some of my points or have your own points or whatever works for you on your own self-improvement journey, a lot of people make the mistake where they keep days, they track days on something, and then they'll go 60 days without it or cutting it or doing a good job on something they want to improve on, and then day 61 they slip and then they get down on themselves. But that's progress. If it was something you were doing consistently and you wanted to cut or add to your routine, then 60 days of doing it and then messing up on day 61, it's not like this total reset, you failed. That's progress, because beforehand, before those 60 days, you were either doing that or weren't doing that thing, depending on your list. So it's not like, oh, like now I have to start back at 0. It's just restart it. The days are not important. Like, the numbers of the days are not important. It's the overall journey to success. So if you've been really lazy, not working out, not exercising, maybe you want to lose some weight and you always say that, but you never get around to it, you're on the couch eating chips, and you finally decide, okay, I'm going to get into this workout routine, and you go 30 days straight getting into the gym or exercise, and then day 31 you go back to the couch and watch TV. Don't beat yourself up over it. You weren't doing it before. The fact that you've done it 30 in a row is great progress. Just because you slipped up on day 31 after starting it and after tracking the numbers, it's not like this total, like breakdown, reset the numbers, dang, I didn't hit 31, now I'm back to 0. Don't think of it as being back to 0. The numbers are just to help you get going so that you can have personal milestones, because at some point, depending on positives you want to add or negatives you want to get rid of, the point is to get to a certain point in time where you're not even keeping track of the numbers. It's just a part of your habits. It's a part of your routine. So like I've mentioned before in content, I've never been a big drinker, a big smoker, and I never smoked cigarettes, but I'm saying I've never been a big drinker of alcohol or big weed smoker. It's nice to have a drink, nice to smoke a little weed, and it's not really that hard for me to give up. I've done this before, tolerance breaks and stuff. Some people are like, wow, how do you just like give it up cold turkey and do that? It's because I've never been the kind of person that needs to come home, just like needs my drink after work, needs my smoke. For me, it's always been something nice to have, but at age 27, I'm just thinking more long term. It's like, why not cut it out? Why not just, get a bunch of really good habits now with the vegan diet that I want to do, with the no alcohol, the no smoking, being consistent with the gym, just getting a full night's sleep, not staying up late, getting up early with the sunrise so your body is naturally in tune with the biorhythms of sunrise, sunset, kind of in nature as we're intended to be. So a lot of those key points are very crucial for your overall health. A lot of points that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to health, because we're so used to certain people saying, oh, well, like take this pill, or just like things that they aren't really talked about. No one really talks about, hey, like cut the alcohol, cut the weed, because everyone else is doing it. Or there's that billboard or that plane flying behind you with the Coors Light advertisement. Or when you hang out with people, it's like, oh, well, we just go to a bar or dinner and drinks for a date. So it's just kind of the norm in certain societies that that's what you do. So when people get sick or they're feeling bad, it's like, oh, I better go see a doctor. But you could have just taken preventative measures in seeing that doctor. So if you were eating healthy, if you were eating natural, if you were getting good night's sleep, if you were limiting stress, if you were cutting out toxic people, toxic relationships, toxic situations, not putting toxic chemicals in your body with alcohol and weed and drugs, if you're exercising, there's certain things that are so preventative that you might never have to see that doctor. But sometimes we just get into these cycles of what's expected of us. Same thing too outside of food and outside of the points that I said, but just driving by in the United States of America and you see a billboard with some fancy car, and in the advertisement they pick some handsome guys wearing a suit driving it. So it's just like this subliminal thing that you're not that guy, you're not driving it. If you were anybody out here, you would be like that guy, because that guy's handsome, he's got a good smile, he's obviously making enough money to afford that car. Oh, he's got a nice hot chick in the passenger seat. If you were anybody, you would get that car. So this is all like given to us from birth, these ways of thinking, what we're supposed to do, what we're not supposed to do. So part of my monk mode challenge is really just a personal thing of how I want to live my life. I've never been, like I said, never been a huge drinker, huge weed smoker. I've been fairly active my whole life, not some huge athlete, but I've been in shape and exercise. I've always been lean. I have naturally good genetics. So for me, it's just setting it up nicely for the remainder of life. It's easy right now at 27 to say, well, I feel great. Nothing affects me. My metabolism's great. Things go right through me, no matter how good or bad the food is. I feel like I'm Superman. I'm never going to die, kind of thing. But then I'm here out in La Jolla Cove selling for my business, La Jolla Cove Headwear. I see a 70-year-old guy walking by. Two situations could happen. He could be 70 years old and he's just kind of like hunched over and like this and like barely there with his sensory perception. And then he could also be running faster than everybody else out here and kicking ass. So it's how do you envision yourself there, not thinking that you're just going to be 27 forever, because it's easy in your 20s to kind of get into that mindset, but it's setting up the good habits now and being able to do it consistently so that that's your future. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing good.